Hey guys, this is a commentary just so you guys can always keep the training. We wanted to put this online for you guys, so we're going to explain some of the background ideas behind our training. First is changes in life. You saw that we segmented it into 3 sections, business and personal. Those are obviously understandable. The goal of the third section, however, was marital, and we wanted to actually incorporate that spiritual learning into our training. It was just to make you guys thinking that for you who aren't married, that there is that change that's going to occur, and for those who are married, that what they need to do for their actual marriage to keep progressing and keep evolving. So you guys are the key. You guys have to be the change agents. We wanted to stress how important you guys are. So that's why we did that activity in the beginning. This next slide is a video that we have for change.
You've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, and let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. But over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'll be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over.
Okay, you saw in that video just how leadership, it's not about you, it's about changing, how he changed the actual group to go along with what he was doing. And just by giving it all he had, I mean, that's what a change agent is. So you see that the benefits of change is being world-class. But to be world-class, to get those benefits of change, first you must be motivated. Just like in that video, people had to be motivated. Yes, it was a funny video, but it had a great lesson behind it, what that one person was able to do. So obviously, I mean, you can see right here, the benefits of change are just listed below. You get attain the highest standards, create high value products, superior profits. Let's look at Microsoft. Let's look at John Richards, who came in earlier. We've had plenty of great examples of the benefits of change. So we're going to go ahead and move on because most of our presentation covered that. You need stretch goals, you need core values, you have to know what they are, and you have to live them. Those are just the necessities. Strategy, execution, culture, structure, those are also key fundamental aspects. They're pretty self-explanatory about why those are important. So,
right here, we have motivating people to change. And in order to motivate people to change, we need to understand resistance and why people resist the change. And right here, there's 2 different reasons. There's specific reasons, also general reasons. So we'll go over general reasons first. The first general reason is timing. Sometimes managers put poor timing on change, and people just resist it. And as you can see right here at the bottom, you read, "Be quiet. I'm trying to tell you that I don't love you anymore," and the marriage is off. and she doesn't know that her husband just won the lottery. So that's bad timing. So that's one general reason. The next general reason is surprise, which is related to timing, and which is basically more sudden and it's unexpected. And managers need to give people time to think about it instead of surprising them, which is really crazy. The next general reason is inertia. And here we'll have a video for you guys to watch. Right here, this is well, right there, you just seen Marshawn Lynch. She's the running back for the Seattle Seahawks. I actually played with the guy. But right there, that's basically inertia. He wants to keep going no matter what's in his way. He's going to keep going unless something strong enough to stop him. And right now, that deals with the status quo. Nowadays, people don't want to change the old ways to new ways. And that's one of the another general reasons for people resisting change is because they don't want to change the old ways. The next general reason is peer pressure. This is pretty funny. It says, I don't want to die, the turkey says, and the Green Ripper turkey says, come on, everybody else is doing it eventually. And so basically peer pressure has to do with, let's say a whole group of people are resisting a change of a manager, but maybe 2 or 3 of them want to go with the manager, but because of the whole group is doing, they'll join the whole group. Out of pressure of their peers. Alright, and that's it for the 4 general reasons for change, resistance. Now off to specific reasons, self-interest. People are more interested in themselves than organization. It's all about me, and that's one of the specific reasons to resistance. The next specific reason is misunderstanding. People misunderstand what managers are saying, and so they resist it because they don't understand, they're confused. The next specific reason is different assessments. Like in the class when we did an assessment in the beginning, one had a negative, one had a positive. Managers usually have more information than the workers. And that's why some workers, they resist the change because they don't see the big picture like managers do. So that's different assessments. The next one is management tactics. Right here, as you can see, this is a playbook, running back sweep. This is really effective if you have a fast running back right here. That's a running back right there. It's effective if that running back is fast. And it's been effective for many teams because they have fast running backs. Let's say, for instance, a slow team implements it and they're just not good at it. So they lose credibility and trust in their manager, and that's why they resist new things because of the past. All right. And that's the specific reasons. Right here is the general model for managing resistance. Unfreezing, changing, and freezing. Lewin's change theory. The first one is basically unfreezing. So you unfreeze things. You see that there's a performance gap and you shorten that gap. The next one is moving. You have to understand the force field analysis. What are the things against the change and things about it, and you remove the things that are against it in order to make it move forward. The next one is refreezing, which isn't appropriate all the time because the new culture is continuous change. So this might change, so you just continue to change. So basically water, you want it to keep moving like water. And this is the 3 different: unfreezing, moving, then refreezing. All right.
Okay, so here's the approach section. This is pretty necessary because you guys all need to make changes. This is more applicable to the business world and helping each other's out, helping multiple people out. So you obviously have the education and communication, which is what we did with you guys in the beginning. We educated you and we communicated you about the change. We also put a little bit of the participation and involvement factor in the initial activity that we did. We tried to get you guys going, tried to get your support and involvement. So we tried to use more than one approach, which is what you guys should always do. You guys always want to use more than one because a hybrid is best. Finally, though, you have negotiation, rewards, manipulation, cooperation, explicit and implicit coercion.
All right, so this goes more in detail, education and communication. Um, well, you need to inform people of what's going on and communicate with them to see and to let them understand so they won't be misunderstood. Participation and involvement, there needs to be feedback from the output, and we need to hear what people need. As you can see on these different words, you understand more as you read it.
Okay, guys, facilitation and support. Um, there's just people resisting because of adjustment problems, and also no other approach works well with those problems. We're just gonna have you read these, but negotiating rewards. I'm gonna actually incorporate something that wasn't in our presentation. This is negotiation rewards. This is experience from my actual workplace. I work in a job where it's our job to sell stuff, and we did actually incentives. They actually give us a little bit of a reward if we do a good job. Sort of like a salesperson for security systems. Well, recently there was a change in this incentive structure and everyone fought it because the managers did not communicate the change effectively. The reward system that we had turned into a reprimand system, and it just completely crumbled. The management is now in efforts of trying to figure out best ways to get the results they want. You could just see the poor management.
All right, manipulation and co-optation. Well, this is like the most ineffective way to manipulate and force people to do things. So sometimes, I guess, little percentage you want to do that. Explicit and implicit, as you read there in your course. So these two things, I guess you use those if all else fails. There really is no formula, general formula for getting info out to the people and trying to change.
Okay, guys, you gotta lead change. The way to lead change is to establish a sense of urgency. You create a guiding coalition, which means is you guide that change. You are the leader. Finally, you develop a vision and strategy. You communicate the change. You empower those actions, and you generate short-term wins. Make sure you feed them. Make sure they know that they're doing a good job. You consolidate gains and produce more change, which means you always evolve. And finally, you anchor those new approaches in the culture by telling them and by changing continually.
All right. And in order to create change, people have to have courage and be fearless. As you read this quote down here, it'll give you more motivation to be fearless and to create that change in your subordinates or in any situation you are in.
Okay, guys, you always need to change. And to do that, the best effective way is to explore, discover, and then act. And continue to do it just as this model shows you. It's really going to be a benefit to you in the workplace. We're going to make this specific to your workplace right now because you, as Latter-day Saints, as leaders, as dedicated lifelong learners, need to understand the importance of change. We're talking to you specifically that change is going to occur, and when you're a shaper, you're going to make magical things happen.
All right, so this was one of the learning leaders we have, Steve Jobs. He's a great leader, and he's got a great motivator as he innovated, implemented leading change and being fearless in whatever he did. And
that's the end of our PowerPoint, guys. That's the end of our online presentation. We did this just so you could continue to change if you had any of those core concepts you missed. So, thank you.
all right.